All right, welcome to the inaugural Big Boys League podcast. Very excited here. This is episode one, season one. We're going to jump straight into a recap of the season, and our guest this evening is Johnny. But before we talk with Johnny here, we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm here in the middle for some reason. So I'm Tyler. I'm one of the commissioners for the league. My team is Hale Murray. Swing it over to Anthony.
Anthony, the reigning champion, known as the Regulator.
Swing it over to Johnny.
And this is Johnny El Durango because I rented one car one time as we went to Lake Tahoe, but I love it.
God, it's glorious. I think it's El Durango, by the way, not Durango, but I like the way
It's
that you say it. So
tomato.
we should just go with that. So this content is really basically, of course, we'll just post it so anyone could listen to it, but obviously I think it's more relevant to the people that's in our league, and we're just having fun conversations about what's going on in the fantasy league. For people who don't know, we started a dynasty league last year, so the 2019-2020 NFL season, and we're a 12-team Superflex league. We have a 1.0 full point PPR and a 1.5 point tight end premium for the PPR. We've got some deep rosters. I think we have like 17 bench spots, 4 taxi slots. I think there's an extra wide receivers, those 3 wide receivers. So this league is deep. But we're in our second season now. There's been a lot of trades, a lot of really good activity, and we're excited to just get into it. A quick recap of where we were at last year. Anthony won the league, and he had put together a pretty great team for the first season, and he's set up for seasons to come. Johan got second, and Aaron got third, so those were our cash winners. Everybody else was a loser. Jeremy, Chris, Johnny, Sam, Zach, and myself. We brought up the rear there, and we lost. But we're gonna go straight into a draft recap, and we'll go into Johnny's team here and view the draft. And here it is. So really, I want to actually swing it over to Johnny because we're going to do this kind of deep dive for each team in the league. So we'll kind of highlight some wins and some losses league wide. But I'm going to swing it over to Johnny. Johnny had some action right out of the gate in the very very first round. He made some trades, and I'm going to
Yeah,
swing it over to you, Johnny.
go ahead and click on my helmet. You'll
Oh,
see what
that's
I
right.
did right away. Yeah. So you see that the big thing I did was trade my. I traded for a number 1 pick. I saw Anthony had the number 3 pick, and I was like, you know what? The way I perform the best is if I get 2 big guys and then I go from there. So yeah, my draft was I was originally gonna do Patty Mahomes, number 1, but then I did run CMC and like a last ditch effort. But Lee took Saquon, so then I took Patty Mahomes right away after that.
Did you have an
Then
inkling
I
that if you took Mahomes first, that Christian McCaffrey probably wouldn't be there for you at 3, so that's why you did that?
it's exactly why I did that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I thought Run CMC was kind of who I wanted at first,
Hmm.
but then I know Anthony wanted Patty Mahomes.
So
So
without
it,
spending forever on it, because this is not relitigating previous trades. I'm sure we could go on for hours and hours and hours.
yeah, yeah,
I just want to set up here on the screen. I brought up the pre-draft trade. So setting the scene before a single player is on any roster at all. This trade went
yeah.
off. I think a couple weeks before the thing even started. And there's a lot going on here, but to essentially break it down, Johnny acquired Anthony's third overall pick, the 12th pick. These are all in the same year, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
His 12th rounder and his 25th rounder, and Johnny sent over 13th rounder this year, second rounder this year, third rounder this year, seventh rounder in 2020, and then a first and a second. So, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I would have to actually break out the calculator and everything. It's a huge trade. It's a huge
Yeah,
trade.
it was a huge trade. And Anthony and I sat there and talked about it for, I don't know, Anthony, like 30 or 40 minutes, like an hour almost. We sat there and talked about it. But the key was I wanted 1-3. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
Right
it
away.
started some controversy, but it was two different tactics. One going very win now heavy, and the other one kind of trying, get some future picks and set yourself for the future was the initial transaction that occurred.
Yeah, and again, not to spend too long on this because we've got a lot to talk about, but had Christian McCaffrey, of course, not gotten hurt, I think we would have saw Johnny's team be a lot more. I mean, this is
Much
literally the
different talk.
number one player last year. He's the number one player heading into this year, most likely, depending on what ranking you're looking at and everything. But he lost significant time last year, so things could have gone a lot
He
differently.
played
but
4 games.
Four games. It was tough. It was tough, and so it's kind of hard to evaluate it when an injury kind of counterfeits the whole thing. But it was wild.
No, you're right. But the thing was, I took the chance there. It was a roll the dice type of thing.
Mm-hmm. You had a
Like
couple
I said.
couple other big moves there. I see, Gurley in the 4th round, and then just tell us about your next handful of picks. Gurley, OBJ, Tua.
Gurley I kind of picked because I kind of want something consistent. OBJ, I figured he was going to get traded, which he might still this year. We'll see. And then Tucker, I picked way down there just because I love Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be there. Evan Ingram, I hated that pick. It's the worst pick I've ever made because I hate Evan Ingram. God, he's the worst. But we'll see. But then I picked a whole bunch of tight ends. If you scroll down,
You picked Tua. I want
like
to show him real quick too, because you did pick Tua, and we can see in the history it doesn't show up. You ended up trading Tua at some point.
I traded Tua for
Brandon. We'll find it.
Yeah.
We'll find it. Just gotta find it all. Right here. You traded away Tua. You got Higbee, N'Keal Harry, and Brandon's 1st rounder.
Yeah, and then it worked out really well because look right up next to it.
Well, the other thing too.
Scroll up one.
Yeah. Then I think you swapped Higbee, Jimmy Graham for James Robinson. I think Chris was asleep at the wheel there. It was early in the season, though. October 21st. I can't remember when the season started, but it was probably what?
I'm gonna have to say that's probably one of the best trades ever.
Well, it was week 4 or 5, and Robinson kind of came into the season. We weren't sure who the starter in Jacksonville was going to be. They had dropped Fournette, and then I don't even remember what the other guy's name was. There was another It was like Raquel Armstead. Yeah. It was like either him or maybe James Robinson or maybe like a different guy, and no one really kind of knew, and I don't think anyone expected at all that James Robinson not only would be the number 1, but that he'd also end up being a top 10 player.
Top 5. I also missed a couple things because I got Haskins. I picked Haskins from Washington, and he was the starter. And he did not start at all. So we lost that immediately. Because I picked Haskins way down there.
The 15th round. And that's the thing about the Superflex is like even a Dwayne Haskins, right? Someone who could be a starter, probably valuable. They need to be drafted. You're getting deep in the 15th round. Like, look at the players that are going here. They're all just crapshoots hoping that they work out. But to grab a quarterback, like, you got to do it.
Absolutely, and I needed one because it was the Tua wasn't going to start. I didn't know that, and he didn't for a lot of the season.
He didn't, and I would say trading him away, you got great value for him in that trade. I have to scroll back down for it, but you really did, considering that he obviously didn't start. A lot of people think that he struggled his rookie year. I mean, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm pretty dialed in. I actually think he did pretty solid, but you got a great haul for him.
I thought so too. Yeah, I thought it was good trades, and then I realized about halfway through the season. I mean, I got 7th overall. Mm-hmm. I barely missed the playoffs, which happened. So I mean, I did as much as I could, and then I traded, as you're gonna see, future on my trades. I traded for the future as we're
Absolutely.
going. So.
Now, in this draft, if I can go up here, here we go. Did you guys have a chance to look at any particular picks that stood out to you as like, oh, this was a home run pick, this was super late, and look at this incredible value?
Yeah.
Johnny, any pick from any individual person that you thought
Chris,
was really good?
24, James Robinson, because you traded him to me. Look at James Robinson on Chris's. That's a money pick right there.
That's a good call. Absolutely. You dialed into that. I mean, that ends up being a top 10 player. Literally dozens and dozens and dozens
That's
and dozens
the
of
number
players above
5
him.
running back right there. And he picked him at 24.
That's incredible. That's probably the single best pick in the draft. You're absolutely right.
Possibly right. Yeah.
Anthony,
What do you
did you
got?
have anyone?
I mean, if you're looking based on pre-injuries, I think there's a couple people that stick out, but there's also a couple bad ones. Like for example, AJ Green's a bad one. But that Justin Jefferson, oh, who would have known Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson coming out? Was
It's
that
the-
9-7?
Got him at that
The
9-7.
thing
I
is,
was
yeah,
ready.
it's the 7 wide receiver pick that you did. Actually, pretty good. I'll give it to you.
But
Everyone
if you
that I
look at all the
drafted ahead of
rookies,
him, he ended up being the best one among this group by far. And actually,
you're looking at
Higgins
Jalen
is right
Reagor.
behind him.
You're looking at CD Lamb. You're looking at several rookies that were hyped up, and him coming into the league and taking him by storm. What a great pick.
Man, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I was actually gonna go straight in and hit someone on a terrible pick. And Johnny, I don't want to make this personal, but Todd Gurley at 4 in the 4th
Whoa,
round.
Let me back Johnny up real quick here. Before, we had no
I don't
idea
agree with
Todd
that.
Gurley going into this
I don't agree
year
with that.
still had
Yeah.
potential. He, was coming off in the last couple of years as being one of the top running backs in the entire league. So
Yep.
not knowing where this was going to lead him into his new team in Atlanta, him being the main guy, I can see it.
I would say he was a solid RB2, but he should have gone further down.
Oh,
But he was
man.
a solid RB2.
So he finished last season as RB23, not so hot. He entered that season as 25 years old, bit old for the running backs, and coming off an injury. Like, you don't know, he could have been the guy. Like, I get it, get it. It just hurts looking at the picks right after him.
He's my. Oh yeah, it does. But he's
Well,
my
if we're looking
third.
at disappointments, I mean, look at Zeke, right? Picked 4th overall.
Yep, that hurt. That hurt. Shots at Jasper. That hurts bad because Zeke. You're absolutely right. Zeke ended
Jasper,
up as the
Jesus.
11th running back, but you're paying the 4th overall player in the entire league. Yeah, that's a bad one.
My
I was
God.
also going to point out Cam COVID Newton in the 5th round. I don't even think he'll be in the league next year. It's a little bit of a shock he's in the league this year. He could have drafted.
Be in the league next year. But...
Oh, he could have drafted Stephon Diggs 2 picks later. Oh my goodness gracious!
Jeremy was one of my top 2. Jeremy was one of my top 2 because actually look at that row right there: DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. Like, he actually delivered on that.
I think when I looked at this and I spent a little bit of time on it, pretty much anything past like the 8th round, we're 12 teams, 8 rounds. Like, after that, it really kind of is like a crap. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Maybe like 9th, 10th round. I mean, it's just flyers on pretty much everyone after that. But yeah, Jeremy put together a pretty solid starting squad there. That's crazy.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Anthony, did you have any other huge winners or losers that stood out to you? Justin Herbert. Ooh, I'm looking at that right there. I love seeing that. Justin Herbert in the 10th round.
Yeah, that was a big win.
Glorious. So as we move into into next year, and I think the best way to look at this is, of course, to go back at this previous year's standings. Of course, Anthony, Johan, and Aaron got our top three, but who are we feeling are the top teams heading into this new season? Johnny, anyone standing out to you?
Myself, I think I have the best starting lineup, and if I make the playoffs, I will win. That's the problem. I have the worst bench, but the best starting lineup. Receivers, running backs, and I have a quarterback that, from you, I think I'm pretty good.
Let's look at Johnny's starting lineup. What do you got, Johnny? Your
He does
starting
have a good
QB
squad.
is.
It's going to be Dak.
Hold on, that's Dak. Yeah, Dak is there.
Dak, and then your other
Dak
one's
will
going to be.
No. Nope.
So it'll be Dak. So it'll be your flex spot that you can put in. Maybe Foles, maybe Flacco, or maybe one of your other players.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. But look at that. Look at that wide receiver and running back move. That's the key right there. That's the money. Christian McCaffrey, James Robinson, Calvin Ridley, who everyone wants. I've gotten 4 trade requests for Calvin Ridley.
And you just got him. You gave up Patrick Mahomes for him, but
I gave him Calvin Ridley, and no one even attempted one trade with me for Calvin Ridley, so I don't know what's going on.
I didn't know Calvin Ridley.
But I also, in conclusion, in the end, traded Patrick Mahomes for Calvin Ridley, Dak Prescott, and I have a free pick tomorrow or next year, so I'm good.
Yep, it's a big one. So yeah, your starting lineup is definitely super strong, especially if some of the deep ones pan out. Emmanuel Sanders. Maybe if Evan Ingram ever does anything in his entire life.
God, I hate that guy.
Do you know he made the Pro Bowl? Do you know Evan Ingram?
God, what the fuck? I hate that guy.
It is outrageous.
God damn it!
I had him in a different league.
It's the worst. Yeah, he's the worst ever.
19th tight end.
The worst part is they always say like, "Oh, he's gonna score like 20 points." I'm like, "Fuck you, he's not."
Yeah, he absolutely didn't. So I got to say, your bench is definitely on the light side, but you slide Dak up. If your starters hit, I definitely would agree that I think your starting.
Yeah, if Christian McCaffrey plays, which is pretty much has been my story in this league, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. You're a little bit light on draft picks. You don't have a pick in the first 2 rounds.
I think you're gonna have to beef up your wide receivers. You got in a full point PPR with 3 wide receivers. You got one strong one. The other 2 are maybe are wide receiver 2s, low end wide receiver 2s.
Really? I think OBJ's pretty good.
I hate OBJ. I absolutely hate him. I think he curses every team that he's
Emmanuel Sanders, I'm not comfortable with.
Johnny, I got to be honest. If I were you, I would trade OBJ and just get like the smallest amount of draft capital back, just to see what you could, just to get him off of my team. Because
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
I'm
not gonna lie. I was gonna trade OBJ for a first round pick. I'm trying to get him one.
Good luck. Trading that curse for first round.
I wouldn't give you a 5th round pick for him. He's absolutely cursed. The second he ends up on your roster, you lose Christian McCaffrey for the season. That's what happens.
I saw what you traded me for Calvin Ridley. I don't want to talk about that.
I was into some good deals.
No.
It could be worse.
Jerry Jeudy or whatever his name was, and a 2nd round pick this year for Calvin. No.
Inside information. I sent that to Anthony for one of his receivers. I sent that to a couple other people. It's not terrible. Jerry Jeudy's not bad. Jerry
Jeudy's fine. But
what about his quarterback that's throwing to him, though?
He's bad.
Mr. Drew Lock.
He's bad. I feel bad for whoever has him. I feel bad.
Here's the thing. I think I'm going to make the playoffs next year.
That's a good prediction. Give us another 2 playoff teams, Johnny.
Well, obviously it's Anthony and not you.
Not me.
I think you're 2 years away. Probably Johan. I think Johan might make it.
All right. All right. So picking
Yeah.
the reigning champion, probably a good bet. His lineup is definitely strong.
I will make the playoffs next year. That's all I care about.
A fearless
right now.
prediction.
We'll go from there.
All right.
And Dak is gonna really bring me there, I think.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
I
I hope
so
he not too good. I don't want him to break like every NFL record, but I'd like to see him do well for you.
It was
coming
so
off
nice.
the ACL, that's pretty significant, though. We'll see. Not a lot of players bounce back too quickly. You gotta give him some time to heal. We'll see if he's the same player coming back in.
I thought it was his ankle.
Very
I
true.
thought he broke his ankle.
Very true. But this was the first time I had to say, Tyler, this is what I want. And we eventually got there. He wants
motivated.
number one picks. Yeah, you wanted number one picks. As soon as you said number one picks, I was like, I got them. Here you go.
A compound fracture and dislocation of his right ankle.
He'll be back. He'll be fine. You come back from that stronger than you were before.
He'll be fine.
Stronger than you were. Okay, Johnny, I want you to put someone on blast, even if it's me. Who do you think is going to be in the dumpster next year?
Dumpster next year.
Remember, I'll bring up the teams again. You had picked Anthony and Johan were making it. Yourself was making it. So Aaron made the playoffs last year, but here was the rest. You know, I think I'm actually missing. I'm missing 4, 5, and 6, which was Jasper and a couple other people.
Jeremy's good. I think who's going in the dumpster?
The last place teams last year were Jeremy, Chris, you, Sam, Zach, and me.
No, I was last place. I lost the toilet bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I have a scrotum sitting right here. I say Chris. Actually, I don't know if Chris is gonna be able to survive this.
That's not a bad pick. You know, he's got some talent. Yeah. Herbert, Jacobs, Jones, like that's good. I like Ayuk actually.
The Herbert is key, but I just really.
You know, that starting lineup's not that bad actually. Herbert's going to take a step forward. Josh Jacobs should still be getting better in theory as he'll be going into year 3. Jones is good. Ayuk will be getting better. Evans will probably be about the same. This is actually a pretty solid starting lineup. But, you know, we can probably pick everyone's bench apart because the league is so deep.
Yeah, the bench is terrible to pick apart. But, yeah, I think it's Chris. I think Chris will
struggle.
Hit last place. Yeah. I mean, are we talking last place or lose the or I have to send this trophy to someone?
There you go. You got to give it to somebody. You might as well give it to Chris early. Just let him know.
Yeah, is that what we're talking about? Giving the trophy to someone or last place?
Yeah, well, that's what that is. Last place trophy.
Anthony thinks it's different.
Oh yeah, it's the champion of the toilet bowl.
It's the loser of the toilet bowl. That's what that is. You're right. 12th place has to, what was it? Pay extra money?
Yeah, you had to pay for the engraving.
I did. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think someone who's going to fall from grace.
Hold on. I got it already. I got him ahead of you. Mr. Carino. I'm sorry, Jeremy, but it is looking rough. Let's look at this real quick.
Jeremy, are you serious?
We got Phillip Rivers. Let's look at this. Look at this. Phillip Rivers retired. Alex Smith, is he part of Washington?
Zach Moss, the boss.
Carson Wentz. Okay, he has some potential there. We'll see what he can do with the Colts. But as you guys know, he didn't do well this last year. Ryan Fitzpatrick to Washington should be exciting, but he's been benched throughout his career. Now let's go look at his running backs. Cam Akers, solid. That's a solid pick. I'm going to give him on that one. Zach Moss, though, not a starter. I think they bring someone else?
The boss.
They brought someone else into Buffalo, didn't they? Another running back?
No.
Devin Singletary.
No. I think they added one other.
Singletary,
but look it up.
Moss is big.
He's got some strengths in wide receiver, though. Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins. CeeDee Lamb, all good. That's solid. But looking at his tight ends, Jonnu Smith with Hunter Henry right next to him.
Oh shit!
He's got a ways to work. I'm gonna definitely go with Jeremy on this.
Here's the thing. I don't know if Jeremy's going to get last this season because I think he's still got the QBs. He's got Wentz will be in there. I love Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm never when you think he's going to fail, that is exactly when he lights you up for 10 touchdowns in one game. That's exactly how that works. And so everyone's kind of counting him out. But he's going to retire next year, and like after that, he's going to be missing someone. He's got to have a good draft. He needs to take a quarterback, I think, pretty desperately. He has the 6th pick. He could probably do something decently with a quarterback right there. But yeah, I mean, he's already lost one to retirement. Wentz isn't even good, and Fitzpatrick is probably going to retire next year. So I don't know if it's going to be last place for him this year. It's probably going to be next year. But if I were to guess someone who's going to really struggle, I like both of those
what's
picks.
yours?
I like Chris. This is going to surprise you a little bit. I'm predicting bad things for Aaron. I'm predicting bad things. You know, he got third place.
Shit.
He got third place last year. I don't see him continuing. He's like Dalvin Cook has been great. We'll see how good he is this year, but he's a running back. He's 1 year older. Cam Newton is awful. He is absolutely terrible. AJ Brown is good. AJ Brown is probably the only player on his team that I would say I'd be excited about getting. I'd be
Aaron
excited.
was top. Okay, sorry. Aaron was number 1 before the playoffs.
He was.
Sorry.
He was.
Keep going.
He was. I'm just thinking his team is on the downtrend for sure. His team is on the downtrend for sure. Like I said,
Edwards
AJ Brown's really the only
terrible.
player I would really want on his. Like if I got a good deal on other players like Dalvin Cook or whatever, don't get me wrong, I would take him. Gardner Minshew's not going to start anymore because the greatest quarterback of all time is getting drafted. Carr is garbage. The rest of his bench is old. Oh my God, Larry Fitzgerald is so old. I mean, he could miss the playoffs. He could get last pretty easily. Put him on notice right now.
All right.
So we'll see.
Well, I'm glad it's not me. I can tell you that.
It's not you. You bolstered up your season. You got Dak. You got Dak Prescott, man.
I have a sweet ass starting lineup.
You sure do. Well, I got nothing else. This is already going almost 30 minutes here. Any other exciting announcements, things that we want to say?
No.
Johnny, this is yours.
Johnny, this is you.
No.
Put people on notice.
For me, no, I don't have anything exciting. I made the most moves out of anyone, and I also think I've opened up trading for a lot of people. And I've done this for a lot of leagues, so it's good. And anyone that listens to this, please trade in your league. It makes sense.
Does make sense. Is there a type of player that you're looking for if someone were to send you offers? Any specific thing that you'd like to hear?
I've kind of connected everything really good right now. If I'm looking for a type of player, I would need a second quarterback, but I don't even care about that. I'm good. I maybe a third receiver, but we'll see after that.
Is there any specific player you're targeting that think will bring you just over the hill a little bit more for 2021? Whether it be a rookie or someone to pick up from someone else's roster?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
That's good.
Done.
I like it.
I would go for Josh Allen with Dak. That's what I would do.
Are you dialed in to the rookie draft? I know you traded out of it. You used to have the second overall pick, but you traded it to me. Clearly, at the second, you had to have done some research thinking about who's out there. What are you thinking at the top of the draft is going to look like this year?
I like Zach Wilson. I do like him a lot. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence. I didn't realize that you were kind of not thinking about picking him, but I do like Zach Wilson quite a bit more.
Than Trevor Lawrence? Or
yeah.
Just a lot. Really?
Well, no. As the second pick. Zach Wilson. I would have picked him as the second pick. But I had a lot of different choices I was going to do. but I traded it. I'm out. Gone. I think you were gonna pick because you told me you were not gonna pick Trevor Lawrence at one point.
I was thinking about not taking Trevor Lawrence for the sake
Yeah.
of argument. I mean, is there a better pick? Do you go with a running back? I mean, here's the thing. I traded you Dak, so now I have to pick Trevor Lawrence. But had I
Yeah,
not
you
traded
do.
you Dak, it would have been possible to potentially not take him.
Yeah. Had you not picked Trevor Lawrence, I would have picked him immediately. Done. But anything after that, I needed a lot more. And going with Zach Wilson, I can't do it. But when you said Dak was available, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I think the quarterbacks are obviously super important, and I think it is going to be interesting to see. This is the year of the quarterback, like even more than last year, where you had Joe Burrow, Tua, Herbert. Like people were huge question
Yeah.
marks on Tua and Herbert.
They're
There's
way too crazy.
three of them, right? Uh, and Burrow was really the only one you'd feel like super confident about, even though like
Yeah,
of course Tua and Herbert ended up,
true.
Tua still has major question marks. But this year you've got Trevor Lawrence, probably the biggest QB prospect since Luck, like in a decade. You've got Justin Fields. You've got Trey Lance. 49ers traded up. They're obviously getting a quarterback at that pick. So the draft capital is going to be huge. Who did I say? Trey Lance. Mac Jones. Mac Jones is balling. His pro day was incredible. Apparently, people were
No,
insanely
yeah,
impressed. He could be like a top 10 pick.
true.
So the teams that need the
Justin
True.
quarterback,
Fields. Don't forget Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Um, Yeah, and I know that there's teams out there that need them. Like you said, you were thinking about one at 2. I think Zach is probably in need of one. He's got Josh Allen. Woo!
I really didn't want to think about it.
His other
So as
one's
soon
Tom
as you
Brady.
said,
So I mean, it's probably worthwhile, grabbing one. He
as
can
soon
be
as
his
you
third.
said, "Hey, I'll trade you Dak," I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take that. I don't want to think about this.
Well,
We're done."
Dak is good. Dak is good. Anthony's lurking there
Uh,
at 5. Sam, I think, needs one at 4. Sam's got Jalen Hurts and Andy Dalton. He's got Jameis and Sam Darnold. None of those are that exciting. Maybe Jameis could be somewhat exciting, but I'm not
you
excited
might
about
take
Darnold or
the
Dalton.
receiver. You might take the receiver.
We
He's
don't
got
even
good
know if Jameis
receivers
has a
there.
starting job yet.
I think he does.
Oh, I really don't want him to have a starting job.
So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Thank you both for taking the time here. I'm excited to do more episodes and just get some more open forums going on some other topics. But thanks for recapping your team, Johnny.
No worries. I hope everyone understands my team, understands my thought process when we're going through there, and understands that, yes, I actually am in the forward progression of being a good team.
Making the playoffs this year.
And I'm
Write
the
it down.
most chaotic team. God.
All right, guys. Thanks. I'll catch you later.
Later.